Evolution, a testament to wisdom, not a blind accident. The popular theory of natural selection, praised since Darwin and defended by Richard Dawkins, claims to explain life as a blind, purposeless process. It portrays evolution and adaptation as a self-operating law of nature. Yet, when we look deeper into the very foundations of existence and evolution, this claim falls apart. The flaw at the core. Nothing is self-sufficient. Why does anything exist at all? Everything we observe in the universe, planets, animals, ecosystems, is dependent on something else. Nothing within our world is self-sufficient. This means everything must have a cause. But what caused existence itself?
Existence itself requires an ultimate cause, something uncaused and eternal, beyond the chain of dependency. Nothing in our universe is capable of creating itself. The very idea of something coming from nothing is illogical. Every single thing that exists is dependent on an uncaused necessary cause, something that is not dependent on anything else. Natural selection is dependent, not independent. Natural selection and the environment that sustains life are also dependent. They are not eternal or necessary laws. They might never have existed at all. Consider this. Natural selection cannot operate without a pre-existing environment. Food, water, and sunlight are not just there. They are themselves contingent, dependent on prior causes. Without this underlying structure, no organism could survive, and the process of natural selection would be impossible. So, when Richard Dawkins describes natural selection as a blind watchmaker that creates complexity on its own, he is only telling part of the story. He highlights its power within our universe, but he overlooks the fact that this universe, and the laws within it, are entirely dependent. Remove the sustaining causes, and evolution as we know it would vanish altogether.
The wisdom in creation. Many assume that observing progressive evolution proves life evolved purely by chance and necessity. On the contrary, this progression reveals the immense wisdom embedded in creation from the very beginning. As a design engineer, I can assure you, it is far more complex to design a system that can gradually evolve on its own, like a self-improving machine, than it is to simply design and build new versions over time. Likewise, the journey from early fish-like creatures to modern humans is far too complex to be explained solely by environmental pressures.
The insufficiency of adaptation. The claim that organisms simply adapt out of environmental necessity is also flawed. The sickle-billed hummingbird could not have slowly bent its bill across generations to reach nectar. It would have starved long before the adaptation was complete. Galapagos tortoises do not simply grow longer necks because food is on higher branches. Most species exposed to polluted or altered environments do not adapt successfully. They simply perish. Leaving life to evolve in response to environmental pressures is like leaving a computer plugged in and expecting it to automatically evolve new functions. It does not work. The complexity of life points instead to a sustaining structure and inherent wisdom at its core. Conclusion: acknowledging the ultimate cause. Natural selection is not a self-sufficient law. It is entirely dependent and contingent. It cannot be the ultimate explanation for life's complexity. Observing the progression of life is not proof of a blind, purposeless process. Instead, it testifies to the foresight, planning, and wisdom of an ultimate cause. In essence, Richard Dawkins and his followers mistakenly assume that a dependent process like natural selection can act as the foundation for everything. They overlook the essential truth. A contingent process can never explain the necessary foundation of life itself.